in recent months. The approval of the conclusion of this review will allow the disbursement of a total of 8.5 billion euros, 4.2 billion from EFSF and EFSM, 3.8 billion from the IMF and 0.5 billion from the UK. The EU disbursement is expected in January 2012. The success of the Irish programme, I have to mention this en passant, is clearly proving that if we are combining solidarity and solidity, our programmes are successful. The Irish case is proving that the policy implemented by the Eurogroup can produce the expected successes if everyone is doing on his part his duty. We agreed on the release of the sixth disbursement of the Greek programme. Now that prior actions have been met, including the sending of letters of support from the Greek Prime Minister and from the leaders of the main political parties in Greece. I will reply to the Greek Prime Minister to welcome the commitment of the government and of the political parties supporting it to the fulfilment of the programme objectives and the implementation of the decisions of the Euro Summit of the 26th and 27th of October, which are crucial for the success of the programme going forward. The disbursement will take place once the IMF Executive Board has taken its decision in the beginning of December. Funds will be made available by mid-December. We reviewed the progress of the PSI operation. We called upon the Greek authorities and the representative of its creditors to speed up negotiations to find an agreement in January, ensuring the highest participation rate while respecting the key parameters set by the Euro Summit of the 26th of October. We were discussing the situation in Italy in the presence of the newly appointed Prime Minister Mario Monti. He presented us the policy priorities of the new Italian government. We recognized that recent progress, including the anticipation of the balanced budget goal to 2013 from 2014, the approval of two packages that will improve the primary balance by 3.5% of GDP by 2014, and the tabling of a constitutional amendment proposal to introduce a balanced budget rule by mid-2012, represents a good basis to build on for an ambitious reform programme that is needed to secure the announced deficit targets and boost economic growth while respecting the principle of social equity. We have full confidence that Mario Monti will be able to deliver this programme. Nous avons brièvement discuté la situation en Belgique. Le vice-premier ministre Didier Reynders nous a informés sur les décisions qui ont été prises, les décisions en matière budgétaire et en matière de réformes structurelles ces derniers jours, et nous avons exprimé un avis positif sur les différents éléments du programme belge, et nous sommes contents que la Belgique soit enfin en mesure de faire ce que nous attendons d'elle, et nous sommes contents d'avoir la perspective de voir la Belgique être dotée d'un gouvernement. Enfin, la Belgique est un peu dans un cas particulier. La Belgique a un budget, mais pas encore de gouvernement. Normalement, on a un gouvernement et puis un budget, mais enfin, l'essentiel est fait. Il faut féliciter les autorités belges des décisions qui ont été prises. We were discussing, of course, as you know, EFSF leveraging. Important progress has been made to deliver the package agreed at the Euro Summit on the 26th of October and build more effective firewalls against the crisis. This shows our common commitment, our common determination to do whatever it takes to safeguard the financial stability of the euro area. We agreed on the terms and conditions for the two EFSF leverage options, the partial protection certificates providing a protection of 20 to 30%, and the co-investment funds, as well as on the modified guidelines for precautionary programs, primary market purchases and secondary market interventions. These documents will now be published by the EFSF. Market consultations held by the EFSF and the Commission have shown a great deal of interest from various investors around the world. With the leverage framework now in place, the EFSF will be able to actually implement option 1 in December and option 2 in January, and will have full flexibility to use them, possibly in combination, in the most efficient manner. We continue to explore further options to leverage EFSF in light of market developments and investors' interest. We also agreed to rapidly explore an increase of the resources of the IMF through bilateral loans, following the mandate from the G20 Cannes Summit, so that the IMF could adequately match the new firepower of the SFS and cooperate even more closely with it. We welcomed the Commission's proposal on further strengthening the euro area governance framework. Together with our commitment to apply fully the six-pack, this is a clear signal of our strong resolve to implement sound macroeconomic and fiscal policies in the euro area. Therefore, we agreed to launch as soon as possible the legislative work on the regulations on further strengthening fiscal surveillance as proposed by the Commission. The President of the European Council, in close collaboration with the President of the Commission and I, will present an interim report to the December European Council with proposal to strengthen the economic union, including the possibility of limited treaty changes. Bilateral consultations between the President of the European Council and the Member States are currently ongoing. I am confident that we'll come up with an ambitious package which shows that the euro area has a common vision for its future that looks beyond the crisis and addresses its root causes in order to ensure sustainable growth and financial stability. Olli, please, could you complete?
Thank you, Jean-Claude. Ladies and gentlemen, I can second the words of Jean-Claude Juncker and draw your attention to some particular issues of, say, Commission's responsibility. Starting with Ireland, now after the first anniversary of the EU-IMF program of Ireland, despite the prevailing challenges, Ireland is recovering and the program is on track. That's very important and it is a positive reference point for other cases. Today's discussions in the Eurogroup focused on both creating stronger financial firewalls and building a stability union. And indeed, there is no one single silver bullet that will get us out of the crisis. Instead, we need to work on all relevant fronts. And therefore, the decisions of the Eurozone Summit on the 26th, 27th of October need to be fully implemented. Jean-Claude Juncker explained the decisions on the leveraging of the EFSF, and Klaus Regling will supplement that. I will leave that to Klaus and instead say a few words about the three initiatives that the Commission presented to the Eurogroup, which aim at reinforcing our fiscal and economic surveillance and completing our crisis management toolbox by analysing possible options for stability bonds. The two regulations based on the Treaty Article 136 for the euro area will be significant further steps forward in deeper fiscal integration of the euro area. They build on the six-pack, which already significantly reinforces economic governance and which will be applied from day one as it will enter into force on the 13th of December. In the two proposals last week, we propose tight monitoring of national budgets and other steps forward in order to ensure stronger fiscal surveillance and policy coordination, including the right for the Commission to propose to the Council to recommend a Member State to seek financial assistance if the Member State is clearly risking the financial stability of the euro area or Europe as a whole. I sensed in today's meeting that there is quite strong support for these proposals to build up a real stability union and even going beyond these proposals. Today I also reported to the Eurogroup on the discussions I had in Rome with Prime Minister Mario Monti and several ministers and the Central Bank, as well as on the work being done to deliver the necessary fiscal consolidation and economic reforms by the new government of Italy. Prime Minister Monti has very clearly underlined that his government will take the necessary decisions to reach a balanced budget in 2013 as agreed with Italy's European partners. This is indeed key to ensure financial stability, to reinforce confidence among market participants and to reverse the negative trend in the public debt. We welcome the economic policy programme of the new government, which is based on intensified fiscal consolidation, on measures to enhance and boost economic growth and employment and to ensure social fairness. Thank you.
Thank you. As Prime Minister Juncker said, ministers agreed today on the terms and conditions to maximize EFSF resources by introducing two leverage options, the partial risk protection and co-investment funds. Both leverage options are designed to enlarge the capacity of the EFSF so that the new instruments, intervention in primary, secondary markets, precautionary credit lines, can be used efficiently. Let me say a few words on each of these two options. On the partial risk protection, there the EFSF will attach a partial protection certificate to newly issued bonds of a member state. The certificate would have the same maturity as the bond, but could be detached after the initial issue and can be traded separately. It gives the holder a protection of between 20% and 30%, depending on the situation and market conditions. The partial risk protection will be used primarily under precautionary programs. It is aimed at increasing demand for new bond issues of member states and to lower their funding cost. On the co-investment fund, the creation of one or more CIFs will allow the combination of public and private funding. The CIF will be set up as a subsidiary of the EFSF and will generally have a three-tranche structure to maximize leverage. The EFSF will finance the first loss tranche. Private investors will be invited to finance the so-called participating tranche, and the third tranche would be financed by issuing bonds. A CIF would purchase bonds in the primary and or secondary market. If the CIF provides funding directly to a member state through the purchase of primary bonds, this funding could also be used for bank recapitalization. We have had extensive discussions with all types of investors from around the world.